Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. We were one of the people that was covering the fallout between Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman some years ago, right? You guys remember when Max Kellerman, prior to him actually getting removed from ESPN First Take, him and Stephen A. Smith used to have these very contentious, awkward moments on TV where Stephen A. Smith was just disrespecting Max to the max, right? And it got to the point where he created an environment where people would come in and disrespect Max, like Kendrick Perkins and others. And I'm like, yo, what is going on here, right? So Max gets removed from that show. And then, ultimately he gets let go of from ESPN. He had a show called This Is Just In, but they had a series of rounds of cord cutting, and Max was a part of that. And then Stephen A. Smith started going on various shows, like the Joe Budden podcast. I think he went on Hot 97 on one of those shows, and they were asking him about the fallout between him and Max. And not only was he not remorseful of Max not being on the show any longer, he was like, yeah, I'm proud it happened and all this. And he went on the Joe Budden podcast talking about, Max wasn't bringing anything to the table. And I'm like, yo, what is going on right now? To the point where Marcellus Wiley jumped into the frame. That's how me and him got cool, because I was reacting to a lot of his comments of what he was saying about me. I'm like, yo, what is this, right? A lot of people like looking at it like, yo, why are you kicking this dude while he's down? He's no longer in the game. Like, what is this? So since then, we haven't heard from Max, right? We thought we were going to hear from him this year, but nothing so far. So then I was just kind of going through the internet here, and I came across a pretty surprising article, to say the least, from Awful Announcing, with the headline, Stephen A. Smith rolls eyes at Max Kellerman's reference interrupting First Take. And I'm like, what? This is still going on till this day? We're still at this point? So I'm like, okay, so I had to click on it and check it out, and I saw the video, and not only did he roll his eyes when Jay Williams brought up Max, he was like, yeah, like Max. Like, I was like, damn, bro, like, come on, man, like, really? So what I want to do is I want to play the sound for you guys so you can hear Stephen A. Smith say it, and then we'll also show you his like reaction to when Max Kellerman's name was brought up. Take a look and listen to that.
So the question is, what does this mean about Halle? I think this is Halle spitting in the face of narratives. Whether you want to go to the narrative of a superstar, whether you want to go to the narrative of him being Jaleel White, whether you want to go to the narrative of him being corny or injured or overrated, this is him literally spitting in the face of it. And people can talk about TJ McConnell, deserves to be spoken about. People can talk about Pascal Siakam making buckets down the stretch, or Obi Toppin, deserves to be spoken about. But he is the engine to this car. He got them going in the second half. And I will also say this, Gil, when it comes down to the wire, right? Max Kellerman used to have this line, if the death beam was focused on the earth and it's the Martians against the U.S.,
right.
If the NBA Finals, the last NBA Finals we've had has come down to a single-digit kind of game. If it comes down to the wire with the body of work, I trust Tyrese Halliburton in those moments more than I trust SGA. That's how I feel about it. I've seen it. Now, SGA is a prolific scorer, but it's just not Tyrese Halliburton. Rick Carlisle and the schemes that they throw at SGA, I think, are drastically different. I think Daigneault is being outcoached, and I think Halle will be positioned properly down the stretch because of Rick Carlisle more than I trust SGA with Daigneault. That's just my feeling.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith said and did in that clip. Here's my take on it, bro. There's something about it that just seems so greasy to me about that whole situation. There's something about it that just seems so grimy to me, man. Here's why I say that, and I think it's the reason why people like Marcellus Wiley and others were getting at Stephen A. Smith. We get it. You didn't want to work with Max. You worked with him for 5 years. We found out that I think 2 or 3 years into that experiment, you were trying to get the network to replace him with somebody else we get all of that. We get that you don't like Max. We get that you would disrespect him. And we get all of that. But the fact of the matter is this. When Max Kellerman was ultimately removed from First Take, went on the show, This Is Just In, they gave him a show, and then ultimately he got let go from the network. That should have been that, bro. But the thing of going on this campaign and saying why Max wasn't qualified and all of this stuff, Marcellus Wiley already broke down the call talking about when ESPN was trying to get Max Kellerman on the show. First Take, I'm talking about on the show. So how do you go from not being qualified, but then you were recruiting him and you got Marcellus talking about like, yo, bro, I was right there. What are you talking about? So you have that. But then to kick the guy while he is down is the part that a lot of us just don't get. Like, why were you saying all of those stuff you were saying about him? Like, come on, like, bro, what is the purpose of it? And even you yourself said, Stephen A. Smith said it. If people in the industry see that I don't mess with a particular individual, they're going to have second thoughts about wanting to work with that person too. Bro, that's some Diddy stuff, bro. That's some like blackballing stuff. Is it that serious? It's already cool. Fine. You don't rock with the guy. Fine, whatever. But you're not going to go to the next level to now try to destroy the guy's character. Like, yo, it's too much. Now, fast forward to this present moment. We are in 2025. I think Max was let go of like in 2023. You just signed $100 million contract. You're on to bigger and better things. So for Max Kellerman being brought up, for you to have that type of reaction is crazy to me. It is crazy to me. And I'm beginning to think that thing went a little bit deeper than, oh, Max wasn't a good fit for the show. Come on, like till now? Until now, I think it cut deeper, and I'm going to tell you why. Because of what Stephen A. Smith recently said on Valuetainment, and I'm going to tell you why. Patrick and David asked him, do you ever feel, what are the things that hurt you from some of the things that people say for your political views? He goes, the one that hurts me is when my own community comes after me, referring to blacks. That's when it comes after me. And it now makes me think of that Terrell Owens moment on First Take, where Terrell Owens said, Max is, he's blacker than you, Stephen. That line, just like it ethered his soul. That was the line of the lines. And I feel like that moment still lingers on. Even after all of the fame, even after the $100 million contract, even after everything that's going on with Stephen A. Smith, that thing still eats up at him, I believe. Because to have that reaction about Max this many years later is crazy to me. And I have a feeling, I don't know Max Kellerman, but I have a feeling that Max Kellerman doesn't feel the same type of way. He doesn't hold, I have a feeling Max is not holding on to this thing the way Stephen A. Smith. I could be wrong. I don't know Max Kellerman, but that's just how I'm viewing it. But bro, that's mad petty. Come on, son. Like, you better than that. Come on, man. Anyway. This whole Jordan LeBron thing has spiraled into something much larger. The fan bases are fighting with one another. Other fan bases are jumping in. It's just turned into this very, very big thing. But one of the things that the fan base of LeBron say is that, oh, everybody's obsessed with LeBron James. Everybody's obsessed with LeBron James. And I've said, and I've been saying, that no, you guys are obsessed with Jordan. I've been saying this because every single thing somehow, some way comes back to Jordan with the GOAT debate. Like, he seems to be the number one focus. I'm like, what will LeBron's purpose in life be without Michael Jordan, man? Like, who would he be chasing, right? And I've been saying that. Like, what is this obsession with Jordan? What is the obsession? Always trying to convince people that son is better than Jordan. Like, what is that, right? So I've been saying that. But it looks like there are other people out there that feel the same way. As you guys know, Nick Wright is one of the people that came out and said in 2016 LeBron James became the GOAT because he won that championship. And now all of a sudden, he doesn't know why ring culture has made such a big thing. Talking about the performance that he had. Bro, Jordan's had better final runs. Like, let's stop. There's a finals where Jordan averaged over 40. Like, let's stop the nonsense, bro. Like, stop the nonsense for a final series. Like, stop. So that was his kind of thing. And it was also partially his claim to fame. And since then, Nick Wright has been on this campaign. Every single time, every single moment he gets, he's taking a shot at Michael Jordan. I've never heard any Michael Jordan say anything about Nick Wright ever in my life. I don't even think he would know who Nick Wright is if you walk right past him. I don't know, right? So I was doing some research this morning. I came across some comments from an article from Awful Announcement with the following headline. Pablo Torre accuses sports media rival Nick Wright of being obsessed with Michael Jordan. Now, here's what's interesting about this. Obviously, Nick Wright is represented by Clutch Sports and all of that, but Pablo was one of the people that debunked this whole notion that LeBron was at Kobe Bryant's memorial service, right? He put out a show about it. We did a show reacting to his comments and some of his investigative journalism. So I guess by doing a show like that, he's already not going to be in the good graces of a Nick Wright. So I clicked on this sound to kind of hear what he was saying, and folks, he didn't hold back. So what we want to do is want to play what he had to say, give his thoughts on the back and forth for Nick Wright, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Pablo here.
I have not seen this clip yet, but I am told that I should see it and maybe address it.
When I couldn't hear, I was having to keep myself occupied. I was reading the latest glowing Pablo Torre profile in the New York Magazine.
So Pablo is featured in a very prestigious publication. I had not heard this.
New York Magazine. And as you could guess, it took 13 words before the Peabodys were mentioned. And so that was good. By the way, speaking of featured, I did think it was nice that Pablo because I didn't like Pablo and Bill feuding. I thought it was nice that he went on the pod with Bill and stood his ground, to his credit, didn't back down. And if people didn't hear it, we did a kind of super cut of it for him so they could hear the 90 minutes or 60 minutes Pablo and Bill spent hashing it out. Two podcast legends. Go play it for us if you could.
Murrow and Peabody's Peabody nominated Edward R. Murrow Award. Peabody Award nominated Peabody. Edward R. Murrow Peabody. Peabody Award nominated Peabody's Peabody and Edward R. Murrow Award. Murrow and Peabody.
I imagine I have the relationship with Pablo that Pablo has with Larsa Pippen, where I don't have anything against him. I'm kind of fascinated by him. I don't totally understand the big deal, but there's no ill will.
He got your ass.
Touché.
He got your ass. Let's just call it what it is. He got your ass.
It has come to my attention that in my attempt to reestablish what would have been called into question, which is my journalistic credibility in general, I maybe overdid it. So, sniped.
I know some misleading editing there. I don't know. But can I say something, by the way? I just did a panel, and one of the questions at the panel was if I really hate Nick Wright. And this actually ties into what we're going to talk about with the rehearsal. I could not believe that people didn't understand it was a joke. Nick Wright is like a friend of mine. I really like and respect him. And yeah, we're going to talk about the rehearsal.
Oh yeah,
in
what's
depth.
Fact? What's fiction?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
what's a bit? What's real?
Hard to tell. It's hard for me to tell. Is Nick Wright still banned from PTFO? I think the answer must be yes.
Well, after that, whew.
And also, does Nick Wright have something in common with Larsa Pippen? I would say yes. Yeah, I would say they're both almost clinically obsessed with Michael Jordan. That seems to be a through line. So, yeah, you, Nick Wright.
I thought he was a LeBron guy.
Well, he's obsessed. He's obsessed in the way that, he can't stop thinking about Michael Jordan.
It's okay. Take some time, maybe do a few rehearsals of you going after Nick Wright. We got to just call it, I'm a neutral observer. I'm not a neutral observer. I'm Team Pablo.
Thank you.
However, he got your S.
So you heard his comments. Look, guys. It is clear who's obsessed with who. When you have Jordan fans that make content about LeBron James, generally what they're doing is they're reacting to the things that are being said out there in the media. Jordan fans are simply pushing back because Jordan fans understand that it's not a debate, so they don't have it. But I think what has happened is Jordan fans have kind of heard all of these things that are being said, and then it's now forced people to pick up a microphone and start pushing back on some of these narratives. And Kobe fans, who are similar to Jordan fans, and because of their relationship, by proxy, we're gonna defend Jordan, right? So it's turned into that thing. But the fact of the matter is, the obsession is coming from LeBron's camp. The obsession, it's 100%, even from him himself. The obsession is it's just unbelievable. Every little thing, if LeBron is not mentioned next to Michael Jordan, it's a big thing. They're always talking about that we're done with they have tried every single thing. And I got to say, to a certain point, they've been successful. I was just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, yo, man, we got the news that Jordan is going to be with NBC Sports, and then we just heard now like LeBron may be pairing up with Amazon, and the thought occurred to me. I'm like, yo, it occurred to me for the first time. LeBron may not be going away, folks, ever. Have y'all thought about that? Yes, LeBron will eventually retire, but he's not going to go away. LeBron is always going to be here talking and giving his point of views and trying to change the narrative. It looks like this guy's here to stay. And I also came to the conclusion that you can't beat LeBron. You can't beat him, bro. He got too many of his followers out here twerking it up, pouring honey all over each other, hollering and screaming, slapping each other with jars of honey. Like, these dudes are not going away, right? It's one of the reasons why I'm like, yo, don't be surprised, man. One day I'll turn around, I'm like, yo, I'm done with sports media, because to be honest with you, I'm looking for better things to be doing, because not that I don't enjoy doing sports media, I do. But bro, the level of honey sipping and pouring and lathering is just out of control, bro. It's out of control, man. It's like he came up with those ridiculous comments about the ring culture. Look how many NBA players have ran after LeBron to chase his tail to agree with him. They did a show the other day on First Take. They had an entire panel of players that never won a championship asking them, is ring culture toxic? Why don't you sit down a panel of people that have won championship winners and ask them the same question? They put up a panel, and shout out to Tracy McGrady. I think his son was dumb nice. But T-Mac was talking about he never have an opportunity. What are you talking about? T-Mac was playing with Yao and Ron Artest at one point. Shane Battier and all of them, Louis Scola and all of them cats. T-Mac ain't never had an opportunity. Are you serious? So you're going to put a panel of dudes that never won a chip and ask them whether or not rings important? Are you even joking with me right now? Why don't you get together a panel of people that won championships and then ask them, are championships important? Put Kawhi Leonard on there. Put Tim Duncan on there. Get Magic Johnson on there. Get Shaq on there. Get Kenny Smith on. Get a whole bunch of guys that won rings and ask them the same question and see what they're gonna say. So like, it's just, yo, it is just ridiculous at this point, man. Sports media is gonna get a lot greasier. And for people that think LeBron is going to disappear into the sunset, it's looking like that's not going to happen. LeBron wants to change this narrative by all means necessary. And he understands that all of the foot soldiers that he sent out here, they've been trying to do it for years. That's not working. So he himself is now going to come out here and try to do it his damn self. It's crazy. Talking about rings don't matter. Just one thing after the other, bro. I truly believe that LeBron James is trolling at this point. I believe that LeBron has turned into a full-fledged troll. Because some of the stuff that LeBron James says are just so insane to me. I'm like, there's no way that this guy can be serious. But I guess he is serious. And what makes it even worse, and I got to give a shout out to Rob Parker. Rob Parker has been destroying NBA player podcasts because of their unwillingness to even push back on each other. It's like, I agree, you agree. Let's hold hands, high five. Like, bro, what is this, man? Steve Nash, bro. What happened to Steve Nash, man? Steve Nash is just on there selling his ass up there, bro. Like, bro, Steve Nash, man. It's just like, Steve Nash is just like he's like an ad-lib, man. He just up there. LeBron said it. That's right. Yeah. Oh, It's like, do you have an opinion on anything these days? So, LeBron did a Q&A, which I did not watch. But apparently a lot of people did, and he said a lot of stuff. That's where those ring culture comments came from, and everybody, well, some people try to push back on him, but a lot of NBA players and some people were twerking it up for him. But then there was the point that came up about the length of the game. And LeBron James is out here recommending the idea of possibly having 40-minute games. So for those of y'all who didn't hear what this dude had to say, I want to play his comments for you now, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to LeBron here, man.
The 40-minute game is intriguing.
It is.
Because the game happens so damn fast.
Right.
So there's no...
Isn't that crazy how international games can be over?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. And you have no, like... There's no easing into an international game. You know,
right.
And that gives it a little bit more like sense of urgency, you know, so that's something to discuss. That would be something that could, we could possibly, have a conversation about, it'd be hard because you start messing with the history of the game and all that stuff. You take 8 minutes, all that type of stuff. But something to discuss. That's something that could be talked about too. I've always I've been very intrigued with the goaltending rule.
I was going to ask you.
I actually love it. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's exciting. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen as much as you would think.
Right.
And even when you're playing against the international guys and this is their rule, there's times where the ball is tinkering around the rim and they just you kind of get oh we ain't got it.
It's harder than it looks.
It's harder than it looks, but I think that's I actually like the goaltending rule. It's pretty cool.
Folks, LeBron gonna make me quit sports media. I'm being dead ass serious, man. This dude right here, man. This dude gonna make me quit one day. It's just too much. LeBron has to be aware of the fact that him coming out here and saying this stuff, given the fact that he is the all-time stat padder, now saying that the NBA should consider 40-minute games, it will seal all of his records in the record books. Unless you get players that are not going to be playing 30 years. He knows that. So for you to even know that people may say this out there, why are you saying this? And then the part that would kill me is this. When people push back on this, his supporters act like, why are you hating on the man? It's like, what? So wait, y'all didn't know that if Duke went out there and said that, people were going to be pushing back on him? So why are you surprised that people push back? 40-minute games, really? Really? 40-minute games. I truly don't get it at this point. No one can be this, can lack this amount of awareness, self-awareness. It's crazy to me. And then of course, the next thing that will come is you'll have NBA players running up behind LeBron James. Yeah, well, yeah, I think he makes a point. What are you talking about right now, bro? For the amount of money that players are making, you want to play less time? I think they've even gotten rid of back-to-backs and all of this. Now you want to play less minutes? First of all, why do you want this to happen? You're about to retire. Could it be because you want your records? It's not as if you're in your third year in the NBA and you're giving out a proposal. Bro, you're about to retire, we think. So why does it benefit you? Oh, well, it's a faster game. Then go watch the Euro League. Who's stopping you from watching that? I don't know what to do, man. This dude gonna make me quit sports media, man. I might just go on to talk about other things. Maybe do politics or something. This NBA space is getting so dumb, bro. It's getting so dumb. It's just getting so stupid. And the saddest part about it is, whatever comments this dude makes, you already know they're going to be a legion of people. They're going to run behind him. No matter what he's saying, if it makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, a legion of cats are going to run behind him and agree with him. This is why NBA media is so stupid. I'm being dead serious, bro. NBA media is one of the most pathetic forms of media. It truly is. And the saddest part about it all is, NBA players said they were coming into the media space to give us a new perspective from the player. And there is no new perspective. They're giving us their crazy takes and nobody wants to push back on anybody else. It's just all give me a hug, give me a kiss. I love you, you love me. That's all it has been. Nobody's going to really call out players that are playing like garbage and all that other stuff because, well, I don't want to be an NBA player saying it's censored and get his bag. We already know. They were supposed to come and show us the way, and now they just up there twerking for each other, bro. NBA media is mad stupid, bro. Like, it's mad stupid. I'm just keeping it a stack, bro. Like, I know there are a lot of other sports and I don't watch them, but if there was a top 3 in stupid like media, it got to be NBA. Got to be in the top 3, man. It got to be in the top 3. I'm sorry, bro. Like,